Nintendo released a new minigame compilation in December. It's Big Brain Academy, and I had a chance to stream some of this with you guys, and I've been playing a ton of it in both handheld mode and on the television screen. And this is another fun mini-game escape, but it feels a little bit weird. I have to admit, it feels a little bit weird because we got the Wario game for the Switch and we got Mario Party, and it feels like boom, boom, boom. We've had these mini-game compilations come out for the Switch, and I really feel that was a mistake on Nintendo's part to just push that all out the door. It feels like maybe the catalog was a little slight towards the end of the year, and some of the games that seemed to be quickest to get to market were pushed out there to the detriment of these three solid games. Although Mario Party, my family and I played, and we did not have a party with it. It was beautiful, but it was frustrating to play. This one is a little bit more, I think, straightforward. It's also a less expensive compilation as well. It's $30 in the States, so I think it's about $40 in Canada. There's only 20 games in it, though, and that is a cause for consternation, because you're going to see the repetition of these mini experiences over and over again. But this is about testing yourself and memorizing things and figuring out patterns, and you're in some mini games you might be adjusting a clock or weighing different items against each other to see which is the heaviest. And the whole idea here is to make these decisions as quickly as you possibly can. And so the clock is always ticking, the pressure is always high. It was very stressful to stream this because you cannot help but feel judged. You're being judged by the game, and if you're playing in front of other people, you're being judged by other people. But it's also really, really fun. It's very simple to play. It's very tuned. I did feel like I was fighting the controls a little bit because, it's all about snap decisions and snap judgments and being quick with your motor skills to be able to move things around. And I felt like sometimes the controller wasn't moving precisely where I was thinking, because you've got like 4 spots on the screen where you're supposed to hit, and sometimes it'll bounce to the wrong one, and you press the button and it's like, no, I didn't want that. So I do feel like the game would be easier and in certain cases better to play in touchscreen mode. And I've got the Nintendo Switch OLED that I played on, and I have to be honest, I'm not really keen on putting my fingerprints all over the Nintendo Switch OLED screen. I might be a little bit too crazy there, but I don't want to do that. So I decided and opted to play it with the controller, and I did have a few moments of frustration while I was playing it. There's a bunch of different difficulty levels where you're going to be challenged as you go, and obviously one of the things that happens through this repetition is you get better at them, and you also will predict what's going to come up next. So it's not really like the Brain Age games, which were much more focused on sort of assessing your mental acuity and your mental ability, and giving you a judgment that way. This is a lot more kind of lighthearted and something quick to jump into, but it is enjoyable. And I think one of the most interesting things about this game is that there's some pretty solid multiplayer elements in here. You can play against other people locally, which is pretty cool. Have like a little big brain party and sort of challenge each other at the mini games, but you can also adjust where everybody's difficulty is going to be. So if you're playing against kids, you can accommodate that, which is pretty cool. But the thing that I appreciated the most was being able to get into ghost mode and play against some of your friends. Now, it would have been great to be able to play real online straight head-to-head on some of these games, and you can't quite do that, but you can play against your friends list in ghost mode, and I enjoyed that. You've got a list of all of the different people that are on your friends queue, and they've got their top scores, so it's a leaderboard type thing. But it does spur you on, and the way that they've set it up is pretty cool. It's like it's like a gauntlet that you're running, and you're learning the game very quickly, and then you jump in, and you can see right here in this thing. This is from the stream where I'm fighting against the Wren and trying to input numbers as quickly as possible, memorize the numbers, and put them into the calculator as quickly as possible. It's very simplistic. The art is very rudimentary. There is also a customization option in there where you can pick up hats and space suits and helmets and all kinds of little doodads, and there's tons of stuff to collect, and you get 10 every time you get 10 coins. You can spend those coins on some kind of customizable element for your character. It's not as robust, clearly, as Mario Party. I don't think it's as quirky and enjoyable as WarioWare, but it's still fun, and it's still solid, tuned, Nintendo caliber escapism. But I do think it doesn't have the sort of longevity as some of the other minigame compilations out there. I'm going to give Big Brain Academy, Brain versus Brain, a 7 out of 10.